last time where every 2 seconds it's, we haven't gotten them yet, we haven't gotten them yet. This trip, we're getting them. I'm freaking out right now. Oh my god. I've never done a trip where I've been in 3 different states before. Oh my god, it's right there. So the current time is 6:50 and it's still completely dark out. What's there?
Look at the frost. Look at how cool. It looks like snow, the grass.
Oh yeah, everything is all frosted up. Last night, right now it's 31. 7 miles. And right now, so we stayed the night in New Hampshire. We're kind of back and forth, like I said, from Vermont and New Hampshire. But now we're heading over to the spot where we were last night, where there were the Sawets in Vermont. And we're gonna hopefully get some good stuff. It's kind of cold out this morning. It's definitely colder than I was expecting, but it's not too bad. We just got to the parking lot, and right there we got Canada Jays. Oh, this is right there. So cool. See if it'll hand feed. This is so cool. Just got out here, and the first bird that I got as soon as I pulled in the parking lot was the gray jays, and they're everywhere. They won't really hand feed with me, at least not just yet, but they're so close. I'm gonna try for some good shots of them. And while I was working on trying to hand feed the gray jays, I heard some white-winged crossbills fly over, which was crazy. Well, I mean, not really crazy. I was kind of expecting that, but I wasn't expecting them to be so easy. They have kind of like a raspy, in my opinion, their call is like a cross between a red crossbill and a common redpoll. And just cool. Maybe I could get to see some too, but right now I'm actually going to break out the wide angle, try to photograph some of these Canada Jays, and maybe try to hand feed them too. We'll see what happens. Oh, so close. Alright, so I'm just getting my camera set up on my wide angle lens because I have a really cool shot in mind. Hopefully I'm able to pull this shot off. But I'm put a rice cake in the road with some trail mix, and what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get them to start coming to this this rice cake, and then I'm going to try to get a wide angle shot of them with the mountains in the background. So if this shot comes out like I'm hoping it does, it'll look really cool. So as I'm just flying around, this is the food pile I set up for him. Look how like I'm right here, they're right there, and there's white-winged crossbills flying overhead. And right here in this little area is where I got the Sawets last night, and also all over that side of the road too. all my years of birding, and everyone's always talking about hand feeding black-capped chickadees, and I've never done it, but I just did, and I'm freaking out right now. That, honestly, like, it's just a chickadee, it's a black-capped chickadee, but that's just so cool. I've never done that before. I got my GoPro going with the food with the gray jays. I'm gonna try for some more shots of them, but I'm just so excited about hand feeding the chickadees, honestly. See if we can hand feed a Canada now. So cool. It's cold out here. So much colder than I was expecting, but it doesn't even matter.
He took the nut. He took a big nut and
took the big nut and left. We are now entering the spruce grouse area. So that's so cool. We haven't been out here this long. Already got Canada's, already hand-fed chickadees. We ran into some other birders who gave us the location of where to look for spruce grouse and black-backed woodpeckers. And they actually got to hand feed a red-breasted nuthatch, so I might try to hand feed them in a little bit. But right now we're in the woods. This is the spruce grouse habitat. Apparently right now the spruce grouse aren't as much on the ground. They're more high up in the spruce trees. But we're gonna be looking around. So some other birders were just telling me that this right here is the dust bath area of spruce grouse. So that area right there and all in here, spruce grouse take dust baths. This is so cool. There's stuff everywhere. There's truly Canada jays and red-breasted nuthatches and pine siskins, white-winged crossbills all around. And just a little bit ago, I was able to hear my lifer black-backed woodpecker pecking. So that was really awesome. The other birds that were here are really helping me out and showing me around a bit. And they pointed out to me, they have a, oh, here comes a nuthatch.
He's still there.
Nuthatches just keep coming in a hand feed. anyway, there's just stuff all over the place. I wasn't even ready. Well, oh my goodness. It's 11 o'clock and I've already gotten 2 of my targets, 2 lifers, and it was really just an awesome morning birding. I wound up not filming a ton because I actually wound up running into a birder who birds that spot all the time, and he wound up showing me around and he got me on the 2 lifers. So huge shout out to Tom for that, and it just wound up being awesome. There was, as you saw, there was red-breasted nuthatches and black-capped chickadees hand feeding. Like, you could just hand feed them all over the place, and all the Canada jays all over the place. And then we were in this spot that was all spruce forest looking for spruce grouse, and while we did not come across a spruce grouse, we were able to get a ruffed grouse, which was a lifer for me. So what's interesting is grouse this time of year, and I don't know if this is the same for ruffed grouse, but for spruce grouse, they are actually up in the spruce trees right now, and then occasionally they'll come down to the ground to eat gravel and grit, but they're actually eating the spruce needles off of the trees. So they're very hard to find right now because it's like owling. That's kind of how I describe looking for them, because you're scanning through the spruce trees and everything. But that's where the ruffed grouse was. And then earlier in the morning, I think I'd mentioned this, but I'm not quite sure, but I got finally my lifer blackback woodpecker. I still have not seen one, but we were able to hear 2 drumming back and forth to each other. And their drum is it's kind of a deep drum, and it kind of tapers toward the end, is what Tom was explaining to me. So you can actually tell them apart just by their drum alone. So that was just really awesome, starting off the day with 2 lifers, and so far I've still been getting all my targets. I still want to photograph blackback woodpecker, and I still want to get a spruce grouse, but I cannot complain at all with the amazing morning of boreal birding that I just had. So I didn't see it, but my mom just saw a gray jay fly across the road as we were just driving around, which is crazy. There's definitely a lot more gray jays around here than there were in the Adirondacks. And I think part of it is time of year. There's more gray jays around here in the fall and winter than in the summer, that's the only time I've ever been in the Adirondacks. And we're also in a different area. So now we're actually heading back to the campsite. We just got some lunch briefly, and once we're at the campsite, we have reception there. There's hardly any reception anywhere up here, so it's really hard to get to locations and drive around because you just don't have reception for directions. So we're going back to the campground. We're going to pick up a few things because we left some stuff in the tent. I'm gonna get warmer gloves because it is a lot colder than I was expecting. Right now it's starting to warm up. Now it's starting to get into the 50s, but it was in the 20s this morning, so it was much colder than I was expecting. And then we're gonna figure out where we're gonna head off to next. Maybe Maine, maybe not, we'll see. So we're just back at the campsite. Now we're off driving again, and we're just about to go off to Maine, but there's one spot at the very edge of New Hampshire right before Maine where I had seen some reports of spruce grouse on eBird, and since I didn't get that this morning, I'm gonna try for them at this other spot. So we're gonna try for spruce grouse in New Hampshire, and then we're gonna go to Maine, and that's just, this one spot in Maine just seems like kind of a good general area for different boreal species. So this will be cool. So far we birded and photographed in 2 different states, and a little later we're gonna add a 3rd to that, so that's pretty cool. I've never done a trip where I've been in 3 different states before. So on the eBird map, you can fill in all the different counties and all the different states with birds. And right now, the only state that I have left to fill in for the entire Northeast is Maine. So once I fill in Maine, I will have the entire Northeast filled in on my eBird map, which is I think that's pretty cool. So yeah.
No, we lost our purpose, chasing all that surplus. You were all that I need. I feel that we can break free. We can still go back there to a place with no cares. We can turn this ship around. We can turn this ship around all the way back home. Chasing all that we do not.
where it says Earl. Anyway, I was trying to film that sign because the sign said that we're in Earl, but I'll just tell you that because you can't really see all the sign. But right now we are in Earl, New Hampshire. We are just about 15 minutes away from the spot where we're gonna look for some spruce grouse. We're just stopping at a gas station to get some gas. And we'll see what happens. There's all hunting dogs there. They just pop their heads out of the truck.
If I have to do it on Monday, I can. I don't know what the problem is.
There we go, now you can see the full sign.
Face with corporate or something.
So, we're driving along this road. Rough grouse just came out of nowhere. I wish I could have gotten it on film, but like just crossed the road. So cool. We need a spruce now. If we could get a spruce grouse, we'll have a double grouse. What is it? Do you see something?
You hear something calling.
But I'm actually, while we're driving along, just gonna look down the road. Just came across a Canada Jay, a few of them, or actually not a few, just one. Somebody's got the hunting dogs going. If a moose starts coming out, I'd freak. It's right there. He got one. So he just got one, but he didn't really land on me. Let's see if it'll come back. Pretty back in the woods, but that was pretty cool. They're all coming in. There's one right by the car. This guy's gonna hand feed. Oh, if it comes and lands on the hood, that'd actually be a cool shot. Seriously, you're eating the Gray Jay food? I'm in camo, it doesn't even know I'm here.
I dropped the one and Gray Jay went and got it.
Holy crap! They're gonna land on a car.
I'm just standing on the road, make sure nothing gets hit.
They're on the car right now. So, that was really cool to get to see some more Canada Jays. We'll try this road. That looks decent. Yeah, so anyway, we just actually were talking to a hunter who's out here hare hunting right now. That's where you hear all the dogs going. And he was saying to look down this road because there's been some grouse. And so, we're gonna look around here and see if we can find a grouse. So another ruffed grouse for this spot. That's the third ruffed grouse of the trip, and that was, I was able to get some a pretty good, unfortunately no pictures, but I was able to get a good video. So now we're off to Maine. About to be in the third state of the trip. Welcome to Maine. Let's go. You're now in Maine. You don't need to walk to your destination. So we just got our first Maine bird. And that is black-capped chickadee. Just heard one call a little bit. And in 10 minutes, we're gonna be at a mountain. We're gonna look for some other stuff. But now I have checked off every Northeast state. I've gotten birds in every Northeast state, so that's really cool. You know you're in Maine when there's moose crossing signs. Made it to Maine. The mountains here are huge. The mountains here are probably the biggest mountains I've seen so far on this trip. Just got some more Maine birds, golden crown kinglet, hairy woodpecker, pretty sure I heard downy too. And we're gonna go up. I don't know how far we're actually gonna wind up going up this mountain, but we're gonna go up this mountain a little bit and see if we can find some spruce grouse or whatever else is around, and we'll just see what happens. So we're hiking up the mountain. For Maine list, just added raven. And we'll see what else. I know with this spot, there's been reports of boreal chickadee and spruce grouse. That's how I found out about this spot. Not really seeing a lot of spruce grouse habitat yet, unless we just haven't gotten to it. A lot of rocks. Hopefully I don't fall down. And yeah, that's what's going on. Continuing the climb up the mountain, just came across a hiker who said she had heard some grouse up here. I mean, it could have been ruffed because it, it wasn't a birder. And it looks like now we're starting to get into some pretty good habitat for spruce grouse with a lot of spruce trees and that kind of stuff. This right here, starting to look like pretty good grouse habitat. Getting up in the Maine mountains with the grouse. Not just a leaf falling. Anytime I hear any little thing, I'm listening. It sounds like there's some sort of little falls or something. Oh, there is some sort of little stream. That's cool, all mossy. If I climbed on one of those rocks down there with all that moss, I'd definitely fall. I'm not taking any chances. As it is, this trail is kind of treacherous. Made it to the split in the trail where the hiker that we ran into said that she had seen some grouse. So far I've not seen any grouse, but we just got to this split and the habitat's looking decent. There's some spruce trees around and it's looking similar to the habitat where I was looking for spruce grouse in the morning, where I know there was definitely spruce grouse. So we're gonna see. I feel like I say that a lot, but it's true. You're gonna see what happens. I really want a spruce grouse. It's a main target for this trip. A lot of birders that I know, the joke is that spruce grouse don't exist because they're so hard to find, they're so secretive. But I really want to find one, and I want to get a picture of one too. Wasn't finding any spruce grouse or boreal chickadees near that area, and since, red squirrel, another one. And since it's starting to get a little bit dark out, well, it's not really getting dark out. Since we hiked up a decent amount, and we still have to get dinner, and it gets dark so early, we're heading down now. So no sign of spruce grouse, no boreal chickadees, but the trip isn't over yet. And right now we're still climbing down the mountain. Who knows, maybe a spruce grouse will just run across the trail right there. I would very much like that. it down the mountain, back to the road. And I guess really didn't make it down the mountain. We didn't go that far up. Made it down the trail. And there's some cool mountains. Finally, after a while, was able to track down somewhere to eat. There's really like no places to get food around here. And you'll be lucky if you see like a restaurant here and there, and most places are just completely closed down. But we finally found some place that had just like some chicken tenders and stuff. And now it's dark out. So we're actually heading back to the spot that I was at this morning and last night. The battery just died on my vlogging camera. There's batteries in the back, but I'm not gonna bother to get that right now. But anyway, I don't really know where it got cut off. But next we're gonna go back to the spot where we were at this morning, and also last night where I got the saw-whet owls. We're gonna go back there and I'm gonna try another shot at trying to see the owls. Was able to hear them really well last night. So yeah, that's what's next. And then after that, we're gonna go back to the campsite, go to bed, and then tomorrow morning we're gonna do a little bit of birding up until lunchtime, and then we're gonna head back home. So just got out here, driving down the road. How cool would it be if the saw-whet flew across the road right now? So not a whole lot of luck with the saw-whets. I was able to hear one calling, which was kind of weird because last night there were a decent amount of them. And what I'm kind of wondering is if last night those were migrants and the migrant ones kind of blew out of there, and this one that's hanging around is maybe one that bred up here or has kind of taken up territory here for the winter. I'm not quite sure, but I just heard one. It did a few of its like high-pitched cat-like calls, and then it did a few like, and then I didn't hear it anymore. So now we're just about to head back to the campsite. Didn't really film much at owling because it was pretty uneventful. I think I did get one recording of it calling, but I got better recordings yesterday. But we're just checking out this other spot, this road that's right near here, where there's been some other boreal stuff, and I think it's right near the spot that we're at right now. So we're just gonna see if we can check it out. But as I keep saying, it's so hard up here because there's just no reception. So to get the pins in the phone and to get everything set up, it's really hard. Once you have the directions going, even if there's not reception, it seems to keep going, which doesn't really make sense, but like once you have your destination going, it'll just keep the directions going. But it's tough because you have to find a spot with at least like a few bars to get started. And then of course, so right now I forgot to mention this, but right now we're in Vermont right now. So our campsite is in New Hampshire, but we're in Vermont right now.
What do I got?
There was a freaking bobcat. Oh my god. I can't really get shots because it's like, it's right there. I'm filming it. Oh my god. It's a freaking bobcat. Oh my god. That was just insane. So we actually blew past the campsite. We were working our way back toward the campsite, just driving along, and a bobcat ran in front of the car and then just sat up on this little hill. So that shows sometimes when you blow past campsites or you get lost, sometimes it happens for a reason because you get to see some really cool wildlife. Just an awesome way to cap off the night. So no photo opportunities with the saw-whets, but awesome to get to hear them again. We'll get to hear one again and to get a bobcat. Now we're just gonna head off to the campsite, get set up, go to bed, and then in the morning, waking up bright and early once again, heading off to the same spot that I was at tonight and this morning, and maybe tomorrow we'll even get a moose. That's the goal. Visual and blackback woodpecker, moose, and spruce grouse, and I'll see you there. So thanks for watching.